It's AJ.
And Dar. Here we are, deep skydiving.
Skeep diving.
Skeep diving.
Yeah.
Deep skydiving, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Deep Sky.
Deep skydiving.
Oh, she got. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's
Go ahead.
not
Do
really.
it again. I missed it.
I don't have much more. Than
Oh, all
that.
right.
So, deep skydiving.
Deep skydiving. Father, we just thank you right now for this time, just for energy, for rest, for this day, another day, Father, that we just get to see you. Let us live above ground,
Yes, God.
breathe fresh air and communicate, and most of all, interact with people and show love and compassion, Father. We ask that you be with us during this time as we record this podcast, Father. Forgive us for our sins, everything in our life that may have brought you dishonor. I pray for the listener that you forgive them for theirs also, Father. I pray that they'll grow a relationship with you, that you may get the honor, Father, that they'll know Yeshua. And then as their Lord and Savior, Father, as the one who's pardoned for their sins, I pray that they come into the realization and the saving knowledge of him, Father, that they may be one with you. But I thank you right now. Have your way with this podcast. Let this be the best episode yet. Let us speak with clarity, Father. Again, I ask you, I'm going to always ask you this. Let the listeners hear, Father. Let them receive wisdom that may come from you, Father, even if we may say things wrong, whatever, Father. If we may express ourselves incorrectly, Father, you clean it up, but you just let our language and let our communication go through and be effective, Father, for our community, for men, for women, to bring togetherness, to bring love, to encourage love and encourage compassion for each other and understand, Father, that we might have great relationship together. And I just thank you, Father, and I just ask you all these things in your precious Son, Yeshua name. Amen.
Amen. So we keep the hands open wide.
We're going to be
in case y'all
receiving
missed
all.
it. Yeah, we're trying to receive. We're
You will.
surrendering
Oh,
and we're receiving.
yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Deep Skydiving. I'm gonna get y'all to be singing that in y'all living rooms and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
unconsciously they can
on the
walk
way to
around
work.
on the job site.
Yeah.
At work.
Deep skydiving.
It's your boy AJ,
It's your girl Dara.
and we back for another episode.
Welcome back, y'all.
So let's get straight to it.
Yeah,
Recap from episode 5.
love and respect.
Love and respect.
Child. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I told AJ usually he'll send me the episode so I can listen to it, and I just honestly could not get through that episode. I have no clue why.
I loved it.
I think it was because it's so deep, it's so heavy. You kind of got to be ready for that. So if y'all didn't get through it, please leave it in the comments. I couldn't finish it. I'm gonna come back. It was hella deep. But I mean, I'm grateful for it. I think I am gonna come back to it. I just don't think that was the right time. But that's important.
Probably so.
Yeah, that's
Because
important.
it's going to be some things that's going to be cringeworthy to other people hearing it. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for it to be cringy to me, and I'm first person.
It probably wouldn't have been so cringeworthy if I was one of them feminine males.
Well, no, I don't think that was the part. I don't think that I'm necessarily used to you, but I think I'm kind of we've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
I expect for your feedback. I almost expect for you to kind of give me.
I think that was the most the one episode that had the most women, boom, boom.
Yes, I like it though.
I like it too.
Because I feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah.
So that was the thing too. It's I really don't feel like it was one of those things where I couldn't listen to it because I just wasn't willing to accept the truth more than I feel like it's so much to digest. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's a daily thing
Definitely is.
because I'm with y'all daily.
But you was dropping gems though. That episode was serious.
It
I say
was.
that.
It was really serious. To the point where I don't have anything to add. Do you?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
So my recap, it's not even a recap really. It's something that just came to my mind today while I was at work. And so I was like, what if God, because y'all are to love people, we are to respect people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if God put all of the fullness of love in women and put all of the fullness of respect in men, so that when we come together as one, we show a more effective image as God than we can if we were individuals.
Ooh, I like that. That's real heavy.
Yeah.
Say it again.
You can rewind this. You can. Goodness gracious.
So you just not gonna give it to them again? What if they driving?
If
let me hear
you're
that
listening
again.
on YouTube, you could double tap backwards. It's going to take you 10 seconds backwards.
But what if they driving? They want just give it to them again.
All right. So I said, what if?
Yes.
Right? I can't. This is not scriptural. If it is, I don't know it. Like I don't know every script, every verse. But I said, what if? Because y'all are love people, we ought to respect people, right? We just like what weighs more to the sexes. What if God put all the fullness of love in women and put all the fullness of respect in men, so that when we come together as one, you know, we show him in a more effective way than we could if we stayed as individuals.
It's like taking two pieces and putting together and power up. Like,
Yeah.
I see
Like
that.
it's like the Power Rangers, you know, when they all become one, they could make this big old, I can't remember what the
Or the
dinosaur
Captain
was called.
Planet people.
Yeah.
Earth, water.
Yeah. And they make one.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, but why not, right? Because we were
It's
made
possible.
in his image.
And yeah, exactly.
And we have an abundance of each, right? We know that like that is a real big, because I think after having that conversation with you, I was like going smack at men, like just trying to see if that's something that
Are you
was
serious?
universal. Yes. Yes. I had some compelling conversations. They were good too.
What kind of emotional manipulation was that?
Well, that brings us to our next
Oh
episode.
no, Howard, but one thing. Remember you was like, God is love,
Yes.
and he was like, God is not respect. So he's both. He's love, but he demands respect. So because he does say, if you love me, you will what? Obey me.
So
This is the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom,
That
which
boy
is the
good.
reverence,
That
the
boy
respect.
good.
But go ahead.
No, you good, because that was what I wanted to bring up, but that was outside of what we talked about in the podcast. It was from one of the conversations that I was having, and I said to a man, like we talked about respect and reverence. And remember I was telling you how there is a reverence, and I understand respect and reverence to be like, you know, partially the same thing, but not completely the same. Whereas
Yeah.
reverence is one of those things where you don't have to work to get it. Like there's nothing that you can do to take away the reverence that I have for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, just as you being a human being, you being somebody,
I
you know,
got you.
with flesh and blood, like you are deserving of love. That's how I feel about, you know, just reverence. But as far as respect, I feel like, and we were arguing down because his whole thing was, he brought up like Martin Luther King. He said, do you respect Martin Luther King? And I said, well, I don't know that I can say that I respect him because I don't know him. Like there's really nothing that I can go off of in the sense of like that. I said, but I respect a lot of the things that he did.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, it's not possible for you to respect something that somebody has done without respecting the person.
Not
and I
true.
said, absolutely not true. Exactly.
Absolutely
But that
not
was
true.
my point. My point
Yeah.
was, I feel like there's so much emphasis placed by men on respect, but I don't think that respect is something that everybody is owed, that everybody gives, that everybody has, you know, so forth and so on. So I felt like when we had that conversation, it was kind of like a light bulb came up on him and a light bulb came up on me, because I said, if it is, you know, the reverence, right? Because we are to revere God too. Like there's this ultimate reverence that we have for God, right? King, Lord, Father, you know, so
Yeah.
forth and so on. And while, you know, I don't necessarily give just every man that same reverence. I know that for my husband, he's going to be the closest thing to God.
Yeah.
And, you know, just in the order of our
I'm glad you said that because that word reverence, when you look it up, it does mean respect, but it's exactly what you're saying. Like how you said, my husband he's not going to be God.
No.
But you are to revere him like God. That's that reverence, that respect. That's exactly what it's talking about. Like that position
Right.
of God, like who he is,
Right.
which is what you were saying of your essence in reverence. Like I revere you because, boom,
Yes.
because you're human, which is a position, which is a state of being or something. And that's exactly what that is.
Cool.
And so, and I do think we probably can't pinpoint that and say that this is what we're looking for. But I think in the core of it, that's exactly what it is.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong for there to be an expectation of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's a lot of times what we as women can miss, because it's just not that important to us, because I feel like that's something that we feel like, you know, we should walk around with. Like, it's kind of like, remember I said the defaulted thing? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like as a woman, it's almost like a default to have sort of this reverence, because there is a power that we carry, right? And I think that's something like, even for the women who are looking for love in all the wrong places and so forth and so on, I still feel like there is a power that we feel like we have, even if somebody else has told us or somebody else has made us feel like it isn't that powerful. There's something that we carry with us. So for us, it's a matter of that love peeking out over the reverence, because the reverence is just something that we have. Like, oh, well, you're a person. We have that nurturing, love for you, that nurturing respect for you, that nurturing reverence for you. Like, continue to take it deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
We just need that love part. Like, show me that you love me. Tell me that you love me. Anyway,
Tell me that you love. Yeah, that's it.
Was that Tana Campbell?
I have no idea.
Oh.
No, that's what I was thinking. It sounded like a white girl.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
So our next topic is emotional manipulation of the sexes.
Rough.
I know. So AJ told me before we started, I'm gonna air out your dirty laundry, that he was just gonna let me take over this episode because he felt like he didn't really know anything about this subject. But what
That was my initial thought last week when we
Okay, but
said
what did
that
you say
this is
after
gonna
that?
be. But then I looked some things up,
Uh-huh.
just a little bit, and
And
I do have something, but I'm still gonna let you take the lead.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't mind at all. So I think before I get into what I've looked up, my research and so forth and so on, the reason why I brought this up is because I feel like it's something that happens more often than not. I think that a lot of people have experienced all of these things
Yes.
that fall under the umbrella of emotional manipulation. I just don't think that we have done really like the research again, so we don't know what to call it. And sometimes what I always say, you don't know what you don't know, right? So if I'm able to see something, I know the definition of it, then I'm able to pinpoint it.
Yes.
And I think that emotional manipulation happens so often that a lot of times we even actually just look over it because of the fact that like it just seems like an everyday thing.
Right.
Like some of that stuff I've grown up with. Like it wasn't even from my man, it was from my mom or my sister or my dad, or you know what I mean? Like just generationally being, brought into these spaces. So I think I didn't come up with my own definition. I usually start off with where I stand on a thing, but I think that it's very clear what emotional manipulation is as far as just like the definition of it.
I don't think
like
I have to
somebody
define
is,
emotional or manipulation.
exactly.
Yeah,
like
we better
somebody
not have
is
to.
obviously
Yeah.
toying. So that's the manipulation,
Yeah.
toying with your feelings.
Yeah.
You playing with me.
Or using their feelings against you,
Right.
to get
To get what they
a
want.
desired result.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to start with the types of emotional manipulation?
So you have the one where somebody's toying with your feelings?
No, I have a number of different things.
Oh,
I have
all
the
right, well,
types
cool.
of emotional manipulation, and I have emotional manipulation or emotionally manipulating behaviors.
All right, let's rock.
And then we can elaborate on each one of them if you want to. You just tell me which one.
This might be one of the long ones. I don't think this is gonna be like a
You don't think so? 'Cause you're gonna-
34 minute.
We'll see.
Nah, yeah.
We'll see. So first, I put mirroring. So they make sure you speak first. So, those situations where you talking to a girl, you like, yeah, because I like to take long walks on the beach. She like, yeah, me too. You like, yeah, I like to go camping. Me too. Like,
I ain't
that's
playing
mirroring. That is mirroring. When
I'm
when
not
somebody...
playing that. You know what I'm thinking of somebody did that?
What?
I'm thinking of what's that movie? Coming to America.
Yes.
I'm thinking of Coming to America. She about to hop. I like hopping
Hop
on one foot and barking
yes.
like a dog at
Yes,
myself.
Bark like a dog.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't like
Nah.
mirroring either. A lot of times I've experienced that when it comes to men asking me what type of men I'm into, and then when I was younger, of course, I used to spew it down like, well, I like that.
And they become that.
And they become that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say, I don't know when I see him.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one is boundary violation. So that person, like you'll tell somebody like, this is what I don't like. Like I don't like it when you comment on my weight, and they keep on commenting on your weight. That's about boundary violation. And then a behavior that can be associated with that is the isolation of you from other relationships. So I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but those people who will say,
It's like
your friends ain't like they really not your friends. Like you think that they're your friends, but they're using you. They're trash.
Yeah.
And sometimes your
That's
friends
tough.
are trash. Like let's not but
they're your friends.
when they try to isolate,
Yeah.
like you need to really like let them go. Like I've been in situations where I've been told like, they're not your friends, they're cool or whatever, but I don't feel like I want to be number one. So boom, 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 like that sort of thing.
Yeah, the only reason somebody would feel like that is because they feel like your friends are in their way.
Yep.
So they probably feel insignificant to a degree.
And they isolate you because
inadequate.
they want to be able to manipulate you easier.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't talk to
if
nobody.
if they feel like your friends have an influence on you,
Yes.
yeah, they want to rid you of them people.
Red flag.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Was there something that you wanted to add to that?
yeah. So just as a man, so I will not, if I feel like your friends are a problem, which I'm going to figure out before I even get in a relationship with you, then I don't think I'm going to engage in a relationship with you. That's one of the things I'm looking at. So if I feel like the people that are in your circle or the people that influence you, if I feel like your mother will be a hindrance to our relationship or your close friends will be, you're not the type, because you're a reflection of your friends. Like you're
Birds of a feather.
You're the average of your circle. So yeah, if I don't like your friends and your family, there's a great chance that I probably like you now, but when I really get to know you, the inner you, like know you in totality, because you're not going to get rid of your friends and your family.
Right. You're only strong as your weakest link.
Once we get into some depth, I might figure out that I really don't like you. So I'm just going to take the path of least resistance and not even, I won't even engage in that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. I didn't even really consider that. I guess because when I meet guys, I mean, I guess their friends are important, but most men, to me, I don't feel like they're friends. Y'all don't really, there's not a lot of times where I feel like men are getting advice from their friends, like not, you know what I mean? Like this is not every man, obviously, but just in a sense of like them getting in the way or spewing out, some level of toxicity to their man. Like for me, I feel like them not saying something to me is more toxic than them saying something to them.
They are definitely saying something. Just like y'all talk to y'all girls, you talk to our boys. That now it might not be all of our boys, but you better believe if a man has friends, he's definitely talking to his friends. He's definitely.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that they don't. I just don't feel like I've had the issue where there has been a problem.
How would you know?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
A good question. I mean that's a really good question. Yeah, I don't know.
We're definitely influenced by our friends, just like everybody.
Like
Human beings are influenced by other people. Period.
Agreed.
So you're more likely to be influenced by those people who are close to you,
right,
than people who aren't, because you trust them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I guess, it hasn't really gotten in the way.
Yeah.
Like how you just stated what you said about the women and how, I don't think that I've ever been with a guy where their friends have been such trash that like it was just spewing onto them and, so.
How many of your boyfriend's friends have you met?
So the last one, I probably only met one, which I was like, what, what's up with that? Like, I was like trying to figure out like, so you.
What you mean? What's up with that?
Because I met his family, but I never met any of his friends.
Oh, all right.
And I'm like, what? Like, meanwhile, me, me, I'm like, I'll take you in like a tea bag and put you in the hot water and like and let that joint steep. Like, you're gonna sit with my friends, because I need y'all to like see like things that I may not be able to see. This is my family.
This is my life.
Exactly. Everybody who loves me under one roof, I want to see like how that goes.
Yeah.
The one before that, I met his friends, but I still don't feel like I feel like I was his friend. Like, I feel like he was like more so, he placed a lot of emphasis on us being friends. So we would like do everything together. Like we would go out to eat. Like we would, go to the mall. Like we would hang out a lot. We always talked on the phone in some capacity. Like, so with that type of situation, I felt like he had his friends and, I knew them and they knew of me or we've been in the same situation, but it wasn't like we all did something like how I am.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. What about you?
My last ex, like,
didn't have no friends, right?
So this is a thing to look out for. She had friends, but then she didn't have friends.
Oh, right. Like all of them on her list this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch out for people like that.
Right. I'm not going to say too much about that.
Okay. I respect your boundary.
My last one.
But what happened? No, I'm just playing.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I was going to boundary violate you, but I'm not going to do that.
That's
it's not time for examples.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, so the next one was smoke screening. You know what smoke screening is?
You about to tell me?
Yeah, so smoke screening is when like you give somebody a clear you give them a clear understanding of something that you don't like when they do. Like, I don't like when you yell at me. And they'll be like, but every time you go on social media, you got your friends talking to you all crazy and reckless and all this other stuff. So kind of it like makes it changes the subject because that really doesn't have anything to do with yelling,
yeah,
right? Which is not to be confused with gaslighting, and we'll talk about gaslighting later.
I got
but
that
smoke
one too.
screening is just basically like you're not even addressing at all what I just said. I said I don't like when you yell at me. You brought up social media and how my friends be talking to me.
Try to throw a little distraction in there, something to get us off of that.
Yes, and it's just
because you don't want to take accountability of your own.
That's it.
Yeah, I got you.
That's it. Yep. Then there's breadcrumbing.
What's that like? Leading you on? What's
Yes,
breadcrumbing?
there you go. I like that you just like pulled that on out. But it's basically when you show small inconsistent displays of interest in order to maintain attention from somebody who you have no intention of being with.
Mm-hmm.
So you like may call them here and there, like you don't call them every day, but you might call them like once a month or every 2 months or something. Whenever you feel lonely, because you might be in a relationship for real.
Yeah.
But you don't want to like really like lose that toe that you have in that
You
pool.
don't want to lose that little that foothold you got in there.
Yep.
You want to have that door always open.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Have you ever had that type of experience?
Negative.
I have. I don't think I was the breadcrumber. I think that I've been.
Do women breadcrumb?
Hell yeah.
Nobody's
Yes,
ever done that to
women
me.
do.
People don't like me enough.
Let me tell you how, like, and this is not me giving, I promise you I'm not giving no secrets, ladies.
Give up the secrets.
But have you ever heard of those women say that, like, they have a guy who they just let take them out to get something to eat?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Breadcrumb. Because she may not be busting it wide open.
That never happened to me, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it didn't happen to you, but it happened. So yes, women definitely breadcrumb.
I definitely heard
and then
that
it doesn't
before.
have to always be in romantic relationships. So you have people who are experiencing breadcrumbing who are in friendships too. Like I just desire your company when I desire it. Like it's not a two-way street. It's one of those things where when you call me, I'm not available, or when you need me or whatever the case, like I may not, like I'll be like, nah, I'm busy, da 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 da, but when the shoe's on the other foot, like I'm looking for you, I'm seeking you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would breadcrumbing be like somebody that only hits you up for advice or somebody that only hits you up when they need something? Or is that something else?
No, I would think it would be a little bit deeper than that because obviously, you know, well, for me, I'll use myself. For me, I have a lot of people who are very supportive to me.
Yeah.
Right? So I would never beat you down and be like, I'm just going to keep calling on AJ. Sometimes somebody's already with me when I'm going through the thing. And so I'll just, experience their help or their aid. But for breadcrumbing, it's like it's a specific person and I want to keep their interest peaked for me.
Got you.
Yeah. So it's not like you reaching out to your friends always. It's like I just want to keep you in a pocket. Basically.
Got you. Yeah.
Moving goalposts. You have any idea what that is?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got that one too. Changing the criteria.
Yes. Like.
Yeah.
I just want you to hold me more. And then when you start holding them more, they like, even more than that. Like
we gonna go deeper into that.
Yeah,
one.
we'll definitely will. And I put next to that guilt trips and ultimatums.
I got that up there too.
I don't mess with those.
Guilt tripping. I hate it.
We already caused ourselves enough suffering. You know, with us reading that book, we are causing ourselves enough suffering. For somebody else to cause you that much suffering or try to like continue to remind you about something that you did to them as if their life is the most important thing.
I don't think ultimatums though are all bad. Oh no. I don't think ultimatums are bad, but how you use them maybe.
Okay.
Because like we have no non-negotiables, right? I think that's probably like a form of. You're not saying that this is an ultimatum, but I think that's like a form of ultimatum. Like,
well, I think that what makes it, and y'all can correct me, but I think what makes it an ultimatum is that you say it, like you that you say it to a person, like it's my way or the highway.
Yeah, and
that's like the ultimatum. I don't think that if it's unwritten or if it's unsaid, that it is still considered an ultimatum.
I mean, if you ask me, what are my non-negotiables?
That's a standard. Yeah, and I don't think that's.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because obviously, then. I'll be just trying to fit into whatever you have, whatever your rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want that.
All right.
As I say, if it's between me and another person, pick them every time.
I say the same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be your second choice. Anyway, passive aggression. So you have silent treatment, playing games, playing the victim, always apologizing. So
What you call that?
I call that passive aggression. Mm-hmm. I don't really. I can't stand any of those. Like those actually make me like those
Queasy.
type of things
Make you sick.
I'm really passionate about like the fact that I really just don't like when people do that to me, especially silent treatment. Silent treatment to me is like throwing a tantrum. Like you're a grown person and you're throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
But I do the silent treatment.
Why? That's not good.
But I tell you I'm doing it.
But that's not silent treatment if you're telling them.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I'll go. So if I say, I'll make it known, like, look, I need some space.
Okay, so but to me, I feel like that's not silent treatment then. I feel like it's silent treatment when you are not allowing for the person to then have a conversation with you, you know, I guess when it's time, when you've been allowed the time to process, because everybody's not allowed, you know, not ready to discuss something right off books. Mm-hmm. Some people are, some people aren't. And there are some people who in their relationship and it works for them, they have to talk about it at the time in which it happens.
They don't want like that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
But if you are the type of person who does need time and you said, hey, I'm about to take some time.
Yeah, I need some space.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But don't hit me up while I'm taking my space thinking like I gave you enough time. You know, sometimes you don't know how much time you need. You don't know how much space you need because not too many people have seen me like there.
Right.
Like when I get there, I need space. Mm-hmm. And because I need to calm myself down and really analyze what I'm going through and do I want to continue on with this?
Right.
Right? And when I say I need space, it's bad. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hear from you until I reach back out.
Gotcha.
And so that's why I said I would do it because you hit me up and I won't respond.
I still don't think that's okay, but
it's not. It's probably not. But that's what I'm saying. If you get me there, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm not going to like give me space, and then once I'm done with my space, look, we don't need to be together no more. I'm not going to do that. We're definitely going to talk about it. I'm not going to just.
So when you do come back, do you expect for her to be ready to talk to you?
She might be.
Open
she
to
might not
like
be.
the fact that she might need some more space?
I'm fine with that. She needs space after I need a space. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm not into no kind of manipulation at all. So I'm not into. I'm the same way. If it's between me and somebody else,
pick them.
And I'm saying that with sincerity of heart. I'm not saying that to be manipulative or anything. I'm saying because I'm not competing with nobody. I don't want to do anything that's going to sway your thinking or any of that.
Yep.
Like if I'm gonna be with somebody, I want them to be with me 100% on their own accord.
Yes.
Like they made this decision. I don't want to do anything that's going to manipulate their mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with it. I'm with that. Playing games, playing the victim, always apologize. Playing the victim and always apologizing is something that I want to highlight. Maybe we can do it when we start really like diving deep into this stuff. But I just don't like that either. Like that's almost, I almost rather you just be quiet than to be constantly
that's
apologizing.
Like opposite sides of the spectrum, ain't it? Playing victim and always apologizing.
No.
I mean, you apologize if you're wrong. Like you play the victim if you feel like you're right.
No, Well, I can see how you would see it that way.
Yeah.
But I see it in a sense of sometimes people are like, I'm sorry, I have a problem with, rageaholic. Like, you know what I mean? Like not trying to really solve it, but just kind of like making somebody think that they're like so victimized. Like I'm,
Oh, I got
like
you. You putting them together like that. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I guess you could see it both ways. Guilt. When you start fights often, when you get too close too fast, or do that love bombing thing that we talked about.
Speaking of that, I think I do love bomb.
Ooh, revelation.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you say that?
But it's not the love bomb definition that you gave.
Okay, give me.
Because I don't do it to con or anything. I just go all in.
When you first get with somebody.
Period.
Okay, that's just, you're a hard lover. You're
right.
Okay. So I wonder if we should do a show on what's the difference between, or the fine line between loving hard and love bombing. But I really do think that what makes it love bombing is the fact that there's a con after. Like, I think that's what makes it,
right.
like, just like with ultimatums, it's more like you speaking it out loud. Whereas like with love bombing, I think it is like, I'm forcing all of this stuff on you heavy, like giving you all these things, making you too close to me, so that when it comes down to me asking you for something, you feel like you obligated to do it. I think that's what makes it love bombing.
Oh,
Could be
all right.
wrong.
So you don't fit. So this is my problem though, because what made me think about that was this girl I used to talk to, where she said she questioned my motives because I was, doing for her and everything. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you question what reason would you have to question my motives? Because I allowed you in my home, because I made sure you were straight, because I stayed with you when you didn't have somewhere to go. Like, what would make you? I ain't ask you for nothing. I ain't like what would make you think that I got some kind of ulterior motive? And it bothered me, and I was like, but it made me think. When I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, did I? Because I genuinely care for people. Like, I would have did that for anybody, but especially since you're the person I'm talking to right now, I'm gonna make sure you're straight.
Right.
But I was willing to go to do whatever, go all out, and I was like, damn, maybe anybody in that time or anybody's friends could see that as love bombing. They might say, "Girl, look out," because that sounds like he love bombing you. Like, you wouldn't know until afterwards.
Yeah.
But when you're in that situation, like, what do you?
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't really have anything.
I know.
To,
I back up. Y'all ain't getting all this no more off Bucks. It's not happening.
Child.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So the next one was bandwagoning. So recruiting others. So when you tell somebody like, I'm about to break up with you, and then they go and they be like, tell your daughter not to break up with me. They go to your family. They go to your family, or they go to your friends and be like, man, y'all know she about to break up with me for real. Like, don't let her do that. Like, I might die.
Oh yeah.
If she leave me. You ever had that happen to you?
Yes.
Me too.
So,
I don't care though. I'm still leaving you.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's
laugh.
I don't care. Like,
I
they can
I
all
laugh.
be on your team, and I will be off of it.
Hold up.
Okay?
So, well, nah, my bad. Well, yeah, actually, it did kind of happen like that.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to
Talk to everybody else. Like, what's up with your
it wasn't
boy?
everybody else because they didn't know everybody else, but they definitely went to somebody to try to. But God had
talk to
already
him.
revealed.
Yeah.
God had already revealed to me beforehand. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not cool. Don't do that. Gaslighting, last but not least. Well, not really last but not least, but gaslighting, when they make you feel like you're crazy or overreacting, and they or they say or do something and like deny it later, like you're some type of cuckoo. Like, when I say that, I said that. Nah, you tripping. That don't sound like nothing I say.
I did half of that. Well, let's start there with gaslighting.
Okay,
'Cause that's on my
let's do
list. That's on my list also.
Okay.
Boom, gaslighting. So I've done that, but I haven't done it like maliciously.
Oh, okay.
And so I've done it to where I was trying to help, where I was like saying things like, "Man, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. Like, that's not what you know."
Right. It's not that deep. Like, you're trying to give them like.
I'm trying to get your thinking off of
Right. I got
what
it.
it actually is, so that it doesn't really take you off the deep end. Because I've been with women who will spiral. Like, one bad thing will happen, and then nothing could happen after it. But she takes all of this.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, we gonna get to that too, because
That's what we do.
I know.
Yeah, we can't help it. Are we talking about the things that we've done?
We going both, ain't we? We being transparent.
No, I mean, I didn't
I don't
know
know.
if that was where that direction in which we were going.
I haven't gaslit like so let's clear this up. I don't think emotional manipulation is always intentional, but just because it's not intentional does not mean that
You're not doing it.
and it doesn't mean that it's not toxic. It can still be
Right.
toxic even though you're not intentionally doing it.
And
Matter
I've
of fact,
heard somebody say that like all manipulation is not bad either.
I don't think it's not. So if it's not manipulation, I mean, I think manipulation is bad. I
she
don't
was
think
saying
it's
that she
not
wasn't making
manipulation
movies.
if it's good. So like you can say things that people might deem manipulation to encourage people or something,
Mm-hmm.
and in that point in time, I don't think it's manipulation. It's not manipulation.
I was reading
It's,
something, I think it was in Time magazine, that was saying that the only time that is real like manipulation is when you feel a level of guilt or fear,
yeah,
or
it has to be a
it was
negative
something that,
connotation or something with
right.
it.
That's what
Yeah,
I said. That's the reason why I was like, well, I think manipulation is just like it
it's
has
just bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
there's
only
no other, when you playing
yeah,
with something or you are trying to fit something into a hole that maybe it
yeah.
doesn't fit in, then I don't see how that can be
So
necessarily
that's
good.
what we're going to run with for a definition of manipulation for this
Today.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I do think that there's an argument there, and I would love for you guys to leave those in the comment. I love to have that other side of the
yeah,
game, because what her thing was, she was talking about like when you're at work and when you cause like when you do things to cause for a whole team to set in motion by saying certain things. She was like, that's not necessarily a negative way of manipulating, and I'm just like, but if you're manipulating, then you are manipulating.
yeah.
So anyway, oh, the last one, it wasn't a big category, but it was just using insecurities and secrets that somebody has
I got that too.
shared, yeah, against you.
Yep, I got that too.
But I want you to continue to go on with what you were saying, because I do want to highlight. I don't ever want to seem like I'm one of those people who I
What?
can call a thing, but I don't see how I've done it. So I want to highlight the things that we've done
All right.
before, if you're cool with it.
I don't. So going along this line, I don't
Yes.
think I've done any of these except maybe a slight bit of gaslighting
Okay.
on my end. On yours, you would have to go through them one more time. Just saying, just the titles of them,
So you can tell me how I've done it.
or how I've done it. I don't know
Oh,
I don't see how. All right, I do.
What?
I got one manipulation, but I don't think it was bad
Okay, what was
that
it?
you've done.
Okay.
I don't know if we should talk about it on here.
I mean, if I'm gonna be transparent, I'm gonna be that way. I'll shut it down if you say something wrong. Nope, stop. No, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
All right, so with your last relationship, how you wanted me to reach out,
Oh yeah.
and
What do you think that was? What did that fall under?
I don't know. I can't think of a topic,
Okay.
but I think it was manipulation in the sense that you were tactful in what you was doing without sharing all of the information. And I knew it, but especially afterwards, after I sent the text and everything, and you was like, I knew it, I just wanted the evidence so I could be able to say this for sure and everything. I don't think it was bad, but I just think it was manipulation in a sense.
That I wasn't sharing. I didn't put all the cards out
Right.
there.
So it was like you was moving the board in the way you want the board to be designed and everything without telling the pieces that you're moving them. It was just, you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I do. I don't know how that is reflected on here, but I definitely feel like I've emotionally manipulated people. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and
Intentionally
lie. Like,
or both?
I think both, right? I think that you in becoming more mature, right? I'm able to call it what it is and not be in that space, but I think I've definitely emotionally manipulated people, and I noticed that I did it a lot when I was younger, because I would play the victim a lot. I wasn't ready to own up to anything. And you know who got me together? My mother. She said, you're going to get to a point where you're going to own up to the stuff that you've done.
That's a good
Because what's your part?
That's a good mama.
And I was like, ugh. And I was like, I guess I got to.
Nothing.
Right. I remember it too because
Nothing.
I was giving her the silent treatment.
Yeah. After that.
Yes, because she was like, she told me I'm gonna own up.
All kinds of emotional manipulation.
Yes, she told me I'm gonna own up, and she was like asking me a question, and I was like driving like this, like 10 and 2, and I'm like not trying to look at her at all because it pissed me off, and she keeps talking, and she just keeps like, going deeper into
penetrating.
Oh my gosh, and so I'm just like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing, right? And so she's like, so you're not gonna say
Unbothered. Completely unbothered.
And so I said, I don't have anything to say. And but I was thinking about it the whole time, and it really did hit me. And I feel like I was about 25-ish when that happened. And like, it was like ever since then, like I've always remembered that conversation. So a lot of times I I was able to call it a thing, you know, when I'm about to do it. Because I noticed that with me, the only time that I'll become emotionally manipulative, especially when I was doing it like that, it was when I was backed into a corner.
Yeah.
When I didn't feel like I had any outs, and, you know, I'm just like, oh, nah, like, you're not about to do that. And I would just rapid fire, just da, da, da. And mostly what I would do was, I didn't do the boundary violation, because I feel like I'm big on boundaries. I've always been that way. I like consensual things. I like people to tell me, like, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is not what it is.
Yeah.
But I would say the breadcrumbing, definitely, I have done that.
Dang.
Yes. And that was like with men, right?
You know,
like I wanted to go out.
Jokers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I wanted to go out. I wanted some male company. I would say that a lot of times because I would be surrounded by women a lot.
Also, you know what? Maybe I have done breadcrumbing
Yeah.
in my past days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, you know,
For some
we
tail.
just setting it all out. Yes, for some tail.
Yeah, that
Yes.
makes sense.
For me, I don't be just hopping on one, you know, whenever it's Thursday. So
Yeah.
for me, it was like, let me make that connection though. Like, let's, you know what I mean? Like take me out.
Yeah.
So I definitely did breadcrumbing. Moving goalposts, I definitely have done that in a relationship too.
I
Just
think
kind of
that's
like,
that's like you said. I think that's just women.
yeah.
I think
well, I can't say that it's just women.
No, I mean I'm not saying that only women do it. I'm saying like all women do it. There might be some men do it also.
Oh God, AJ. Okay, so I'm gonna just let that one slide. Definitely passive aggression. I feel like I do passive aggression more so in the workplace.
Yeah.
And the reason why I do that, I think, is because I feel like there's a level of professionalism that you have to uphold, and when you lose control completely, like you kind of lose that professionalism. So I've done that in my workplace. Yeah. So.
But was it to get a desired result, or was it to end whatever was happening?
No, I've done things like, so it's not on my list, but I've done things like, I've talked about somebody or talked about a situation loud enough for another person to hear it because I need them to hear something about themselves, instead of just being like, you know what I mean? Like going.
I do not like subliminals
Yeah, it was very childish.
at all. Like
I
I hate
childish.
subliminals so much that it's one of those things that really pisses me off.
Right,
Because I
just
feel like if you're gonna say
it to
something,
me.
say it to me.
Say it directly to me.
Yeah. And so now I have to like, oh, they ain't talking about me.
Yeah, I'm on that level too. And I think that it's because I've gotten to the point where like I really do stand by the fact that like what other people think about me is not my business.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to somebody else and you want it to fall, you know, boom, on me, like it's not gonna do that because you're not talking to me. That's not my business.
I make it my business because now especially if you're saying something that you want me to hear, I'm gonna make it my business.
I don't. Like sometimes I will intentionally block out whatever's going on in the shop or wherever I am.
It depends on if you're saying something like disrespectful, I'm gonna make it my business. If you're saying something, if you're really nobody to me, you're saying something that I'm just like, I don't even give a damn what you think, dog. Like, then I'm just going, he ain't talking about me.
Right.
But if somebody, so put
Do
this,
you think
this
that
is
the
an
reason
instance.
why that's the case is because there's a hint of truth in it, or you feel that truth, or that's something that you've deposited? Like
it could be
somebody's
true, it could be
talking about-
false. I don't care. So
okay.
here's an instance. I don't care if you lying, if you definitely lying on me, I'm definitely gonna make it my business. So in this instance, so if somebody was saying something to you loudly about me, now it's my business.
Right. Okay.
Because now I feel like you're trying to influence somebody that's
friend.
close to me. Yeah, so I'm gonna make it my business.
Right. Okay.
If somebody was saying something like, if we in this, like this what I don't like, you probably never been through this, but as a hood, you could go somewhere, we go to a club or might go to a lounge or something, and you see some other niggas over there and they might say something like, man, I smack any one of these dudes up in this joint. Like, you know, I'm letting it go.
I'm such a.
I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
But I know men that'll reply
Yeah.
to me
who you gonna
about
smack?
ain't nobody smacking nobody up in here
Right.
talking to me.
Yeah.
But you talking to them. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear
See,
you. Okay. Yeah, no, that hasn't happened to me. I mean, and if it has, I don't remember it because it was so insignificant.
Women do it a lot too, though. Like,
Yeah, but I just, to me, I told you I'm not really like easily disrespected. Like
Yeah.
I really don't allow people to like do a lot of depositing. Yes, I'm not. This is not me saying that like people's opinion, of me don't matter. People's opinions of me don't matter. What I'm saying is what you discuss, like, and I'm just gonna give out a name. What Brandy discusses with Tyra about Dara is not my business. So I don't
Yeah.
expect for Brandy or Tyra to come to me and tell me, what was discussed. That's not my business. Y'all was talking, and for real, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody has one.
Yeah.
So
But it could have an effect on your relationship with Tyra
Brandy
now.
or Tyra,
Yeah.
and my thing is, if that is the case, if you've allowed for, if you
Yeah.
taking it from Tyra or you taking it from Brandy, then y'all need to go and be with each other then. Like if it's
I
gonna
got you.
ruin, that's not, again, y'all have created something because nobody decided that they wanted to
My
talk
guys
to
are
me
solid.
directly about it.
My guys are solid.
But okay,
They-
while
they
we're
gonna,
here,
they gonna check you.
right,
Yeah.
right. But while we're here though, and I agree, I think there's some people who that's how they live their life too. Well, why does Brandy and or Tyra feel like they comfortable enough to talk about me?
Yeah.
That's not my business either.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because you don't know what's going on in that situation. You don't
Yeah.
know if Brandy fronting for Tyra, if Tyra fronting for Brandy. And then if you start putting yourself and inserting yourself in that, you worried about that too, on top of the stuff that you already got to worry about in your life.
It's gonna be a girl, a friend group named Tyra and Brandy. Like, y'all, they talking about us. That
Right.
was the same thing we was just doing.
That's what I was just saying. But let me ask you this. Do you believe that, like, how do I want to word it? If you are friends with somebody, are you a person who believes that, like, I'm trying to word it right. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Brandy and Tyra, since we have those names.
Two men. I'm a
Tyra,
man, so
okay.
most of my friends
Chris and Andrew.
are-
All right, so
Just do John. Just do black names.
Chris,
I don't know any
you and Chris
names.
best friends,
All right.
and you and let's say Andre.
Thank you. That's
All right.
better. Chris and Dre. I
So
like that better.
Dre, so Chris tells you something about Dre. You don't even really know Dre that well. Chris is like, Dre be stealing for real. Like that nigga steals
Yeah.
everything. That's not nailed down.
Chris, my man.
Chris is
But,
your man,
yeah.
and you don't really know Dre. Dre is his cousin though.
Yeah.
So he really knows him.
Yeah.
How do you treat Dre?
Gotta be cautious around him.
Really? Just
So
off what
you
Chris says.
Because you talking about stealing. You talking about thievery. That's
Yeah. So
I
you
gotta
just going off.
I gotta keep my eye out. I gotta be
That's
cautious.
true.
That's Chris' cousin, and you talking about stealing. Now, if you said something like, "Man, he just a petty dude, man. He
Right.
be bamming out this and
Okay.
that." Now I don't. I gotta have my own experience and judgment.
Okay,
But if
I
you
got
want to tell
you.
me somebody be stealing and y'all coming over my house,
I'm not gonna have the money laying out.
exactly.
Dig.
I got yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I agree, and I guess that's what I was trying to get at. So if he says that he's stealing, I do understand. Like you just kind of like keeping your guard up, or
Yeah.
even that he is a fighter, somebody who's constantly in conflict. Right,
Yeah.
I would definitely have my guard up just to be ready for a situation like that, especially if
Yeah.
I was a guy.
Got
But when you say like he's just a petty dude, like that's not what you're looking for, right?
Nah.
Like when he comes around,
Yeah.
yeah, agree. I
I'm not-
definitely give people the
yeah.
opportunity to show up the way that they show up and not
Right.
based off of somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, that I do.
But you see why I say that then, why it's not my business what Brandy and Tyra are talking about.
Yeah.
Because obviously if Brandy is saying something about me to Tyra, it's something that we get things misinterpreted all the time.
Yeah.
You might not be able to, I might call you, tomorrow, all day tomorrow, and you just never answer your phone for me. And I might make up in my head that you're unreliable.
Yeah.
So then I go back
Boom.
and I tell
That's a good
Brandy and
one right
Tyra
there.
that you're unreliable, and that's not the truth. Not based off one day.
And or it may be the truth for your
that.
relationship with Brandy, but
Boom.
not your relationship with Tyra.
Yes, because you could not just want to
yeah.
talk to Brandy or Tyra
or
today.
who knows what Brandy did to you
That's true.
that made you respond in a
so
way that she
true.
believes you're unreliable.
Hard facts.
So
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah,
Okay. Did you? Oh, we answered that.
what
Did you
got?
know while you were in a relationship that you were experiencing any of these emotionally manipulative ways?
Yes,
Did you know it at the time that it was
Yes.
happening, or was it hindsight?
some of them I knew at the time, the exact time it was happening. Yes.
Give us some highlights. If you don't, I mean, whatever you
All
feel
right.
like
So going backwards, when we broke up,
Mm-hmm.
and like I hate this. I just hate to say this because like it really put a fork in it, put a knife in it for me. It really kind of made me see something I really didn't like. When I broke up with them, they started saying things like, yeah, they're leaving us again, this and that, such and such. Yeah, nobody cares about us. I don't know what I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like,
That's the guilt.
it's not going to, that if you were trying to win me back, that wasn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's like, I think it was Einstein that said this, sticks with me. He said, adversity shows a man himself. He said, adversity introduces a man to himself. So at that point of time where you was losing something, where you was losing this relationship, like I seen your last resort.
Yeah.
And it was not like, it wasn't a pretty face. It wasn't a pretty situation. Like
Right.
you went, I would never go to like, I'm gonna kill myself if I don't.
Yeah.
I would never go to that extent.
I've never done that.
I would never even speak that. Like that's not even in me to do that. But when people do say things like that, they do that because they know that you care for them and you don't want to see them die. So they're trying to play on your compassion and everything to get you to stay around. And I left.
Do you know who London J is?
Nah.
So I think he was a artist with T.I. or something like that. But anyways, I feel like he an Atlanta dude. I don't know.
If you don't mean it.
Oh
Don't
no,
say-
That's
Yeah, that song.
That
All right,
is-
so
that's not
London
London
J.
J.
All right,
But anyway,
who's that?
London J. He was saying he said that he did that before. It was a girl who he was talking to, I guess.
No.
He told him, if you don't save me, I'm gonna kill myself. He said he just shot the pistol in the air and then dropped his phone.
That's a bad. If that's
He said he threw his phone.
if that's not emotional manipulation at its
That's
best,
what I said. That's why
you
I had to
are
bring
the
it up.
devil. You are the devil if you do
But
something like
it
that.
was funny because he said that he said the girl ain't call him back, and the girl mama called him back, kept calling,
Because
kept
she probably
calling.
was. The girl was probably like, he killed her. She
Yeah.
probably was too
Scared to call.
distraught. Yeah, you done.
He said he
I'ma
made a
kill you
mistake
for
in
real.
answers, so he had to talk. He said he made a mistake in answers. He had to talk to the mama like, I ain't do it for you. Oh
Now
my God,
that
it was
is
so funny.
feminine.
Yes, it is.
That's feminine.
He said that too. He said that he also tells women that he just loves them, like even if he don't mean it, he says it for him.
Oh, so all right. So that's another thing when I was talking about love bomb.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would tell anybody I love them. So because, and I mean it. Like, there's not a soul on this earth that
But
I told I love that I don't mean it.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So, because I really mean it. But that's that reverence for me. Like, you're a person who deserves love, so I love you.
Yeah.
But I don't be in love with everybody.
And that's what I told my ex. Like, we was in like a month, but I know that she needed to hear it. Like, God told me like she needs to hear this because she doesn't feel love. And so, I told her like, man, I love you. Like, it's not, to me, it's not that big of a deal.
But it was deep for her.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I guess
Okay,
it's deep
question
for, I
for
guess it's deep
y'all.
for women, period. But I don't know. Like,
Question for y'all, because this is something that I told you I talked to my ex about, is the love thing. He said that he is capable of liking anybody, but he's not capable of loving everybody.
Yeah, I'm not.
Whereas
upset.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm capable of loving anybody,
Yeah.
but I don't like everybody.
Mhm.
And you know that I don't like you because I don't even want to be in the same
Yeah.
space as you. Like the things that you say, your mannerism, things like that. Like I just may not like it, but I love you because you deserve love because you are a
Yeah.
human being. So what do you all feel about that? Like, let's do a poll. Like for those people who can you like anybody, but you don't love everybody? Or is it that you love everybody, but just don't like everybody? Let us know.
Or you just don't love or like, period.
Or
like,
you right, or you
I
don't
ain't
like
gotta love or
anybody.
like you. That's what
And
yeah.
is it wrong, guys, to tell someone that you love them if you feel like they need to hear it more than you actually feel like you love them?
Yeah.
That's a real good one.
I
don't think I would. When a person, but see, I also am like on the other side of the fence, right? Because I feel like you got to put yourself in other people's shoes to really kind of like know how you would react. You fine. In a situation, I feel like if a guy told me that he loves me, and it's happened a lot. Like I've been told I love you so much. Like my clients, everybody, they tell me that they love me, and I feel it. Right? It means something, but it don't make me like melt. I don't be like, oh my god, he loves me. Like nah.
That's
It'd
why
be
I
like,
think as a man you gotta
thank
tell
you.
him early.
I love you too. Huh?
I said as a man, that's why I think you gotta tell him early so that you don't get that.
What, that melt?
Yeah.
Wow.
So y'all
tactics.
dudes ain't think about this.
No.
Tell them early. Tell them about 3-4 weeks in, right? So that it become mundane. So it's not.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because women probably, I don't know, in the movies they make it seem like women be waiting for that.
But it's
so
actions
you
for
remember
me.
so you remember what's that movie with Kevin Hart?
Oh, when
Steve
he was
Harvey
the,
Jones with Megan Good and what's his name? Romney.
Think Like a Man.
Romney Malcolm Romney, whatever his name is, something
Think
like
Like a
that.
Man.
Yeah. When he was like, I think in his book it said something that says when a man says those 3 magic words or whatever. And, she bought him like some basketball tickets or concert tickets, something. She did something. Oh no, I think she shopped his demo tape to her uncle or whatever. And he was like, "I love you," and gave her a hug. But it wasn't. But when she heard the words, it like activated something. And they had already been dating for like 2 months, almost 3 months.
Right.
And she gave up the cookie.
Yeah.
So they make it seem like women, if you've been dating for a long period of time and you never said it, and then once you say that I love you, like it's serious.
It's such a
for
big
them.
thing. Yeah.
So tell them early, get it out the way. That way
Yeah.
it's not ever a big thing.
But that's only if you feel like that, right? Like it's only if you really do like.
Yeah,
if
because
you want
then
to
it's
like us, who can
emotional
love.
manipulation.
Right.
If you don't feel that way.
Right. I really
Yeah.
strongly feel
so,
like that.
So love them early. That way you can say it and it be true.
Yes. Most of the situations that I've been in, the man told me early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm mute. But see, I guess I don't know. I'm not one to say like it's easy to love me or anything like that because I don't feel that way. But I feel like love is just
definitely
one of those
easy to love.
things. But I feel like love is one of those things that it should be easy to give because it's just like it should be the standard. We should love on everybody. I know.
Yeah, we should love on everybody.
Flower
And
child.
I do. So this is the thing. You're easy to love because you're likable.
Ooh.
So people that aren't likable aren't
hard to
easy.
love.
Yeah. They're harder to love.
My I had somebody
gotta love 'em a different
in
way.
my family who said that about another person in our family. Like, she's just hard to love. Like,
Yeah, because people that aren't likable, you legit have to find a way to love them.
I don't have a hard time loving on folk though.
You're just different.
Because it's like, even if you're different than me, like that don't mean you don't need to be loved. And then I can actually show you the love. Like, so it's not like I'm even just saying it, because that's another thing too.
It's not that they're different from you. It's that they're not likable.
Right, but that's the thing. I can still love you and not like you.
Yeah,
And still have like
I can too, but
yeah, like it still be
the
good to
actions
you.
towards
Like,
you.
what's up? Like, really, like what's going on with you? Like, I don't like you, so I'm not gonna choose to spend a lot of time with you.
My love
But if
is
we
different.
come into the same, I can have a full conversation.
Nah, my love is different. I ain't about to be having too many full conversations with you if I don't like you. It's a real good reason why I don't like you.
Right, but the thing is,
yeah.
what you're missing is I'm not seeking it out.
Yeah.
If we're in the same
It's just
room,
if it happens, it happens.
yeah, like I can be in the
Yeah.
room with somebody who I don't necessarily like, and I can like not that I'm seeking them out, but if they were to come over to me and hey, Dara, what's up? Like,
Yeah.
hey, how are you?
I got you.
Yeah, it's
I
not
could be
gonna
cordial.
move me.
Be cordial with them.
Right, that
Yeah.
part. So I guess that's what I mean.
I
being
got you.
cordial.
All right, what else we got?
I don't have any more questions. I don't know if you did. In
All right,
regards
boom. I got
to-
7. I got 8 of them, but we can
Okay.
do 7.
What's up?
Well, you already said the guilt tripping.
Yes.
You experienced that?
In my relationships, hell yeah, I've experienced all of the ones everything that I've named.
I said, hell yeah.
Everything that I have named, I have
Hell
experienced
yeah.
from a man. Isn't that wild?
What are the significant ones? The deep ones, like the
Gaslighting
most important
was
ones.
the one that sent me off the rails.
All right,
First of all,
so-
I don't like somebody to think treat me like I'm dumb.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of niggas be trying to make it seem like they're the smartest person in the room,
Yeah.
and they're not. And I think it's more insulting to me because I feel like men are dumb.
Go into it. Give us an example of what happened.
Okay, so the guy I was with, he told me that we were talking about something via text.
Yeah.
He told me that he never got a text that I sent him. And I said, you're lying. And he goes, I didn't though. And I said, let me see your phone. So he wouldn't give me the phone. So I knew he already was lying.
Why?
And mind you, I don't check people's phones. Like that's not like a really big thing to me.
Yeah.
But I just really, because he was going so hard. And I don't like that. Again, don't make me feel like I'm dumb. Because I'm not. You're
Yeah.
dumb. So
I'm not. You're dumb.
no, you're dumb. So he was like, I didn't get your text. Like, I really honestly didn't. So he's scrolling through, like, he like really about to prove me wrong. And so he holds the phone to me and covers the text that I sent with his thumb.
Can't be serious.
I'm dead ass though. Like
You can't be.
dead
What
ass.
type of dudes you was dealing with on some stupid stuff or some nut shit like that?
Listen,
It's no
he
way.
was a whole pill, a full dose. You understand me?
Yeah.
Of crazy. But anyway, that was the gaslighting. That was just an instance of that. I did not like that. He was the one that I think I've experienced all of them with, but he was the one that to me was the most feminine too.
Yeah.
But we had started off as friends. I didn't know, like once he tapped on, like once he got into me, that he would like turn into this whole other animal.
Yeah.
But he did all of that, like all of that stuff.
Wow.
Even down to like the boundary thing. Like I'm a barber. I cut hair for a living. So I'm obviously not going to be able to text and cut hair because I'm using both of my hands.
Yeah.
He would text me all day long. And I told him, it's not a problem that you text me, but don't expect for you to get a response.
Yeah.
Right, until I'm done. I'll give you that, right? Because I'm not one to just ignore you. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I told him, hey, listen, you're not going to get a response from me until probably like lunch. Like, I bet. But it used to be, it was
Yeah.
still like a problem here and there. But yeah, all of that stuff, the passive aggression, smoke screening, like guilt, all of that stuff I have experienced with that one guy.
I had one guilt trip where I hated this,
What happened?
right? Because I feel like don't ask me questions that you don't want the answer to. Because you know I don't lie.
Right.
And it's 100% manipulation what you're trying. Are you even still in love with me?
Ugh.
Like don't ask me that.
I don't like questions like that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't ask questions like that.
You got this one hanging right
Is
in
it?
the middle.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, don't ask me that.
Did I get
Like
it?
nope, it's like in the corner.
Oh, my eye.
Yeah.
Got it.
It doesn't look like it's protruding anything. It's not irritating anything. So
Okay.
you're all right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
don't ask me that. It was a time where she was feeling a certain way, and we was kind of going through it. Like, are you even still in love with me? I said, I love you. But are you in love with me? Like, I don't even use them terms like that.
AJ's lady voice.
I don't even
It's
use those
hilarious.
terms like that. Like, because I don't be like like the Rick James, Dave Chappelle, Rick James.
Yeah.
That's not me. I don't do that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, like, I love you. That's all that shit matters. Don't ask me nothing else. That's
Yeah.
all that matters. Like, are you still loving me? I feel like you're trying to guilt trip me into being in this space with you or something. Like you want me to say yeah so that you could reply with, so why don't we blah blah. And I don't like that at all.
So
That's
you
definitely
have never
manipulation.
asked a question that you didn't necessarily want the answer to?
No.
Yeah, me either.
If I ask a question, I want the real answer to it.
Yeah, same. And I'll just prepare myself for whatever the answer is.
That's it.
Sometimes I still don't be ready and I be in my feelings, but I mean,
So
I
what?
asked you to
I'm a
answer
man. You gotta
it.
be a man about it. Gotta be a
Right.
big girl about it.
But my thing is,
Yeah.
I really do eat it up because it's like I asked you. So
Yeah.
just like when you go through somebody's phone, like
Yeah.
you have to be prepared for whatever you're gonna find.
Yeah,
It don't mean
so-
you're gonna do something about it. So why are you going through their phone?
So if you going through their phone and
Mm-hmm.
you find something that you don't like, why are you flying off the handle?
Exactly.
Because clearly you must have expected to find something.
yes, you're not going. My thing is,
Yeah.
you're not going through nobody's phone for
Yeah.
to make sure they cell service still work. Like you're
Just
going
seeing
because
if
you
you had
looking
all
for
your
text
bars.
message. Right. I was just making sure your notes app was working. Like
Nah.
like you looking for a text message
Mm-hmm.
from a broad or a dude.
And another thing, I hate this also. I was told, I've done this for you. What have you done for me?
God. Ugh. Triggered. No, triggered.
Oh my goodness.
I can't stand that. First of all, don't be keeping no records on what I'm doing for you.
Period.
Because I can. If you want to do tit for tat, then we can go. But you're not ready for that.
See, I can't do that. It's just not in me to do it.
Right, but I don't do it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But why are you bringing that up? Like, why are you saying
I-
like I've done this for you?
And this the thing, you not even realizing the things you've done for me. Not only did I not ask you to do them, remember the conversation we had, like, Papoose?
Yes.
Not only did I not ask you to do it, like, it wasn't of great value to me.
Exactly.
Like, to
Just like you feel like
just to put a
buy me
diaper on it, like,
t-shirt,
to,
yeah, from
Yeah.
your favorite spot.
and
I
you
don't
go
like
to,
t-shirts.
and you go to Marshall's and get me a freaking Levi's shirt that I don't even care about or something like.
Yeah, I don't even like clothes.
I didn't even need clothes.
Right.
That's the thing.
But
like
you bought it, so you think that that's like a grand gesture.
And now you're trying to throw this. Now, granted, the things I've done and the extent that I've went so many times, I could easily be like, "Are you serious?"
Right. That's why it's not good to say things like that.
But I just don't even. I don't even reply. I don't reply with anything I've done because I just feel like that's so messed up.
Right.
Like if we're in a relationship together, I'm not counting what you have done and what you haven't done. I'm not doing that at all. Every time I tried to, like I wanted to be petty and wrote it down, God would convict me like love keeps no record of wrongs. Oof. And I'm like, but she got to know this, God. Like when the time comes, she got to know this. And he like, all right, well, are you ready to deal with how I'm going to deal with you then? And so I was like, all right, delete.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's never, like, I feel like true love really it doesn't keep any record of wrong. Like, it's just not, to me, I think it's possible, but I really don't think it's, I don't think it's practical because there's no real practicality in the things that you do for people, especially when you're in love with them. Yeah. Like, it's stuff that you do and you're just like, I don't even have a reason for doing it. I'm just going to do it. Like, you ever done some real dumb stuff, you know, like for another person just because you was like real, like madly in love with them and you like, I would never do this for anybody else. You never done anything like that?
Sure.
Well, anyway, I have. And so
I guess. I mean, I don't think so. But
you do it just purely off the fact that like you really care for this person and like you want to show them that you love them and like a part of you is like this is where I want to be. Yeah. And so I've been in those situations and it's like if the other person was telling me that, it probably would be very, you know, black and white. Yeah. But for me, it sounds very colorful and very, you know, all these different twists and turns to it because it's coming from me. Like I know how I feel. I know how inconvenienced I was, you know, staying up late and, you know, rubbing on your back while you took care of your work. And I never told you that I was tired. That I was dead tired. Yeah. Or I wasn't interested in what you were talking about. Yeah. So it's not going to come out the same, but it's what right. So I don't think it's practical to even keep a list.
That's where would weighed on me so much. I was like, you have, remember last episode, that's what I was saying, like men, we do things without even saying. Like it's a whole lot of things that we endure that we are just like, just to be the strong man, I'm not even going to say that. I don't even want to put this on her. Right. Like she doesn't need to know or whatever. And I do that for my friends. I do that for people at work, everything. Like I'll do something. If I see something like this is going to inconvenience him on a task that he's doing. Yeah. And it's something like, I don't have to do it. And it might not even be something that big, but I'm like, man, let me do this so that he ain't going to struggle when he gets to this. Yes. Yeah. But, you know, I don't sit around and be like, man, I did this before you even did that just so you wouldn't have no problem.
Notice that I took the trash out? Oh, all right. Like, nah.
But I don't do that. Yeah. Like, and so it kind of pissed me off when I did this for you, this for you, this for you. What did you do for me? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And I can't, honestly, being with somebody like that just wouldn't work for me.
And that was early on. That was like 2-3 months in.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was next?
Let's see. Oh, you said just taking advantage of your insecurities. Mm-hmm. Like poking at your insecurities or whatever, trying to. So, I don't think that has ever happened to me. Mm-hmm. Because I don't really have many insecurities. Mm-hmm. Like
or things that you share.
Yeah. Okay. But one thing that did make me mad, and she apologized for this too, though. Like, one of my exes a minute ago called me weak. Mm. And I'm like, what? It's not an insecurity of mine because I know I'm not weak. But it was the disrespect. Like, she said it, like, trying to piss me off and everything. Mm. And so then I was like, and it was almost like a little gaslighting situation. Mm-hmm. Because then afterwards, I was like, what did I do to make her think I was weak? Really, I didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why she had apologized. She was like, no, I probably was just in my feelings or something, this and that. But in real life, had me like, what the hell did I do to make this girl think that I'm weak, that I'm a weak man or whatever? And so but other than that, like, it's really nothing that played on any insecurities of mine because I don't have any. I don't have many. Right. I put all my stuff out there, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think if, I don't know, I think... Just going back to the respect part, I think that's a real big thing for men. I think that's the reason why we can like spewing out that good hot toxic poison to y'all, just opening our mouths sometimes. Like we don't have to have the muscles. Like it's certain stuff we'll say to just burn you out a pit. You know,
and it only burns. Oh, that's what I was gonna say about the fragility part too. Yeah. It only burns us because it comes from you.
Yes.
Like, my respect from you is not fragile because I don't expect it from you because I don't even
Right.
care what you got to say.
I don't even know you, and you
Yeah.
don't know me. But she
Right.
knows me, and she said that.
Yeah. And
And
she
it
said that
hurts.
intentionally to
Yeah,
hurt
she
me.
cut me on my knees.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very, very cautious of that. Like, ladies, I want us to, take ownership for those things too. The things that we allowed to come out of our mouths that are literally breaking people down. And I say people because it's not even just men. Like, it was like when we were growing up, and it's something I talk to my mom about often. My sister and I talk about it, about my mom. It's like, a lot of things that it's certain things that we have come into contact with or we do now because of things that she's done.
Yeah.
My mom was hypercritical when I was growing up. So a lot of times when even now people criticize me, I kind of get burned up inside. And it's not because of the fact that like I think I've done it wrong, but it's just like it just triggers me to that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And or I find myself saying something that's hypercritical to a man that I'm dating. Or I might say it to one of my friends and it's like it's not a problem until I say it to my man because y'all aren't that to you all like it seems like it's disrespect.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm just wanting to highlight that like yo we gotta keep in mind those generational things that we are passing down even to our youngsters and we
Yeah.
think that it's very light like you telling a child that oh you too big for that like get off that tricycle you know what I mean? Like you so
Yeah.
fat. Like why are you so fat? Stop eating chips.
Why are you so
you don't
fat?
need no more chips.
Stop eating
You know
chips.
things like that. Like that type of stuff. Seriously,
Yeah.
I'm hearing it. I'm seeing it, and for real, it comes from people who are older than me. I've noticed, especially Gen Xers. And this is not to say all Gen Xers are this way, but I noticed that a lot of Gen Xers and like baby boomer generations, they're giving that because they don't know that
Yeah.
that's called fat shaming or you're body shaming this child. Now, mind you, it's a child.
Yeah.
Go at her mother. Talk to her mom. But for you to be talking to somebody who's 5 years old because they are, a big girl saying you don't need no chips anyway, go get an apple. Like, no, just in front of everybody, go get her an apple. You know what I mean? Like, be like,
Yeah.
hey, boo, come here. Let me see them chips. I'm going to roll these up. You can have these later, okay? Here's the apple.
Yeah.
And I was like, you too big. You don't need no apple. I mean, you don't need no chips. No way. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's tough.
and then she grows up. She has this insecurity. People like telling her that she's fat. I've grown up with that. Like I've seen that in the household.
Yeah.
And it's like it creates these pockets of insecurities for these people, and they're just try to cover it up.
Yeah.
Like you said about the callus, you keep on rubbing a surface over and over again.
It's tough.
There develops this tough skin over it, but it's still that weak that regular skin, that normal skin that's covering up, and the callus is supposed to come off, but most people are still just living
Yep.
with the callus. They have never let that stuff go. I know those people. And those people who have that hardened skin are the ones who want to be treated like a lady. And their man's like, but I'm going to smack at you because you my dog. Like, you talk to me any kind of way, so I'm going to talk to you any kind of way. So, yeah, it's heavy.
It is.
Heavy stuff, man.
All right, you ready for this next one?
Yes, what's the next one?
The one that I say
Dun,
all
dun,
women do.
dun. What all women do?
Moving the criteria. Moving the goalposts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a vicious one for that one.
Okay, go ahead. Give it to
And
me.
I was like,
Lay it on
can't win for losing.
Lay it out.
That's what I figured. I can't win for losing. So, so my ex lives a nice little distance from me, right? And so she had told me one day, Super Bowl Sunday, right? Everybody know me, my two loves in life are music
Football.
and football. And so I'm not missing. It's going to be very rare that I'm going to miss a Super Bowl, especially day with my dogs. We get together, watch
Talk
football, watch the Super Bowl,
trash,
talk
yeah.
trash. Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
And so she wasn't expecting to see me on Super Bowl Sunday at all.
Right.
She wasn't expecting to see me. So, cool. I figured while I'm in that area, I could stop as a surprise or whatever, and I went there and I was there with her for probably like an hour. Probably like an hour, 5 minutes or something like that. Mind you, I got to travel 45, 50 minutes to get to where the Super Bowl party is about to be at. So I left her to go, boom, got an attitude. I'm like, but you got a problem. Like, what's the problem? Like, you only gonna come here and stop ass for an hour
Yes.
like you did something. So I was like, yeah, you wasn't even expecting to see me. It was a surprise. You wasn't even expecting to see me. You didn't even know I was gonna be over there today. Like, and you were saying I shouldn't be in the area where my girlfriend lives and don't stop ass to see her.
Right.
or don't tell her that you're in the area, right? But now you're saying don't come past if I'm not gonna be able to stay longer than an hour.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, boom. And so my coach was having my coach that I work with that we was coaching the same football team with. He was having a birthday party for his wife. A week in advance, I asked her, "You want to go to this birthday party?" It was at night. It's around the corner from where she lives at. Like literally, like she's on this street. They're on the street behind her. You want to go to this birthday party? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Such and such. All right, cool. So the day comes. I'm like, look, you want to go to this party? And so no. I was like, all right, cool. And so didn't talk to her for the rest of the day. I went to the party and then went back home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The party, I left the party like 1 in the morning or something like that. Probably like 12:30, 1 in the morning. So I'm not about to hit you up, man, that late. So I go home. Next day, what I get? Mad.
What was she
You
mad
in
about
the,
though?
because I was in the area and then comes here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the goalpost moved.
And it was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to church Sundays, Sunday mornings. So what you thought? Yeah, so the goalpost moved. So now you're saying, don't. First you said you shouldn't be in the
Don't come
area.
back if it's just gonna be for an hour.
Then you say don't come by if it's going to be for an hour. Now you're saying you was in the area, you didn't say anything. I'm like, I wasn't going to stay long if I had to come through. You just told me don't come through if it wasn't going to be for more than an hour.
How did she receive that when you said that to her?
Didn't.
Mm.
So you know what happened?
What?
Call your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Best friend is a man. Called her best friend. He said, and he was on her side for a minute. I let her talk and everything, and then I told him this is what she said. Boom, boom. He's like, did you say
so
that?
how did she paint the picture? She didn't say none of the stuff that
Of course
she,
not.
Right.
And
See,
then
that's what I mean too.
So then I said, you told me that if I can't stay more than an hour, because she called him like, if your significant other is in an area where you live at, if they're close by your house and don't come see you, like, is that right or is that wrong? Like, what do you think about that and such? And he's like, nah. So I said, she told me if I can't stay more than an hour, then don't come. Now, granted, she said that like in her feelings because I left that Super Bowl Sunday, and I know she said that in her feelings. But I made it clear to her while we was having that conversation. I said, listen to what you're saying, because I'm going to hold you. I said those exact words, because I'm going to hold you to this. You're saying if I can't come spend more than an hour with you, I shouldn't come. She said yes. I said, all right, bet. And so when I said that to him, he was like, best friend, did you tell him that? She said, yeah. He's like, well, then you can't be mad at him. She's like, but he could have stayed the night before. I was like, I got church in the morning. Like I don't stay the night when I got church in the morning, because then I got to drive all the way home, hop in the shower, do whatever, and go to church. So you knew I wasn't going to stay. And he was like, if you told him that, then you can't be mad at him. All he did was do what you told him. I was like, I did exactly what you told. But
the goalpost moved. Yeah.
Moving the
And
criteria.
I think I had a conversation today with my homie about that, about how when men ask you like if everything is okay, that she said that the assumption should always be that it's not. Like,
what?
Even if
that
we
don't
say
even
that,
make sense.
Right. But I agree with you, but then I also know what it's like to be that woman where it's like, not to just assume that everything is not okay, but just in a sense of like trying to figure out like how you can fit in. So our thing is we know how to communicate that though.
Yeah.
So I'd be more likely or more susceptible to calling you and being like, hey boo, I'm leaving the party. I just want to see if you good. Like, I'm in the area. Like, what's up? Even if we've had that conversation, I would be more susceptible to calling you and saying that, because I'm in the area and I want to see you. Regardless of what you've said or whatever the case, like you could either say yes or you could say no. But again, a man, that it would be very much so like, but this is what you said though.
I'm a high C.
Yeah, I know. So you're gonna
I follow rules very well. Well, you know though.
But I think that's a lot of men. Like, if you tell me something, then I'm gonna do that thing as you said it. I'm not gonna read between the lines. I don't read between the lines.
Especially if you put emotion behind it. Like when you put your "don't do this" and you angry or whatever, I'm like, all right, bet. Because I don't want to see you get this. I don't want to have this type of discussion. I don't want to see you this angry anymore.
Yeah, but I think that's the same thing that I said about my mom. Remember when I was telling you that I would come home and my mother would be like, we would get into an argument like so bad that I would like be crying every time I would go home from school. Yeah. Whenever I would come home to Chicago. And one day she finally told me that she missed me and she never wanted me to leave. And how was I supposed to know that though? I really thought that she had a problem with like me coming home and like being my regular self. I thought I was doing something wrong. I honestly did. So with that, I think that we as women, we can learn to communicate better in that. Like if we feel a certain way, not expecting for somebody to be able to read our minds. Yeah. I think I'm starting to become better about that.
That man, that's so essential.
Yeah, it is.
Because remember, you said something last episode, it's not for y'all to fix.
Right.
So if it's not for us to fix and you're not going to tell us something's wrong,
you're like, what is like, yeah.
Yeah, do you understand how clueless
and y'all
we
are?
are?
Dumb. Yeah.
And we're dumb?
Yeah.
You understand how clueless we are?
Yeah.
And y'all are dumb too, so it's like the dumb and then clueless.
No, we're crazy. That's why you got cussed out because you didn't come. Like, you got cussed out because you came and you got cussed out because you didn't come.
I'm like, yo, what are you, stupid? Like, whatever, I swear. Like, you know?
Yeah,
what are you, crazy. Stupid? You forgot what you told me?
We're
like,
crazy. It's our feelings. We're all knee deep in our feelings. We don't know how to do anything else. We don't sometimes know how to even communicate it.
We don't know how to do anything else.
We don't. Like we've been sitting with our feelings for a very long time, and we're able to. Like people allow us to do it.
Yeah.
So, but was that the last one that you've experienced in your relationship?
Not.
Okay. What's
Twisting
the next
reality.
one?
Twisting reality.
Was that the?
So like emphasizing on lies, extra emphasis on things that might have happened.
Oh, okay.
And like, so I've been accused of things like you'll say, you always do this, and something that might have happened once or twice.
Statements.
Like, what? I happened one time.
Yeah.
I always do. Like, what?
Those are triggering for me too, but I use them.
What?
I'm just
rewind.
Those are triggering for me. I don't like when people use blanket statements, but a lot of times I do use blanket statements. Like, man, y'all always. It's like it don't be every man though.
That's cool when you talking like generally speaking. But if we're saying like,
like you, AJ, always. I got you.
Yeah,
right.
Like I left the toilet seat up one time.
And you like,
in 1 year, you always leave the toilet seat. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, I make sure I intentionally leave it. Now you got me defending myself with something so stupid. Like I intentionally put the toilet seat down every time. I grab it by the side and I put it down every time. I know that I do this.
Is this manipulation? Tell me if this is manipulation. Because I think I've gotten to a point where I start doing.
You gotta ask this.
I know.
But go ahead.
I start doing this very like patronizing tone where I'm like, honey,
100%.
You didn't leave that toilet seat down.
100%. You're very manipulative.
Got my ass wet.
With your sarcasm
fell in the toilet.
Too. Yeah, very.
But I'm not giving you like you always. You know what I mean? I'm giving you like, sweetheart.
It's just a more sensitive version of it. That's all it is. It's a lighter version of it.
But my thing is like, I want you to remember this.
Put a sign up.
That's not manipulation?
Hell no.
Oh.
That's not manipulation.
Note to self, put signs up. It's gonna be signs on everything.
On the door. Put it right on the door. So when he about to go open the door, he see the sign. Put the toilet seat down.
It's gonna be a sign on everything then. Sign on the milk.
So all right,
sign
that's
on
cool.
The cheese.
Once he start taking it down, he got it. Put the damn cap on the water all the way because it fell out the refrigerator and spilled everywhere. I mean,
yeah. You've never felt like falling into a toilet, have you?
No.
Yeah. Anyway. So that is a thing that you definitely have to learn how not to magnify something just because a person does something once or twice.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah, stop making somebody
you gonna drive a man. Yeah, man, always.
Yeah. Okay.
Diminishing your issues, like making it seem
them seem small.
Yeah.
What's the example?
And making yours seem big.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. Taking the story away from the person. Like my grandmother died. Well, both of my grandparents died. So
yeah, exactly.
You lucky you ain't had it.
Exactly.
Huh? Yeah.
And I think we have to be careful because I believe you could do that unconsciously.
Yeah.
With the intent of trying to encourage somebody.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that it's not really on you. It's on how the person receives it.
True, but I do think that you can keep. Yesterday, had a conversation like that. I think you can keep it on that person though. Like once you start veering off, because of course we as humans, we are put on this earth to relate, like be in relationship. Yeah. So when you are giving your story, it's not to take, if you start going there and then that's it, like you taking it away from the person or like you said, diminishing, making it smaller, then that's when it's manipulation. Yeah. But if you're just giving a story to relate so that person knows that they're not alone, I don't think that that's manipulation.
Nah. Yeah, to
But you
show
can
them
bring it
that
back.
it's possible you could come out of this.
Right.
Yeah, if you keep it on
bring
that
it back
person.
like,
yeah.
hey, so, I heard what you said, like saying like, oh yeah, I did lose both of my grandparents last year,
Yeah.
but how are you processing it? Like,
Yeah.
is there anything you would like to unpack? Like, I know I've been there before, so
Yeah.
anything that you want to talk about, like you need me to come over,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, making it seem like it's like not that important.
Yeah. That's
So let me ask you this: did you experience all of these in your last relationship? Like this is all in that one relationship, or you've
Pretty-
experienced it in multiple?
yes. So
All of it in that last one.
all of these that I'm saying I've experienced in my last one, except the insecurities one, taking advantage of insecurity when I said she called me weak. That wasn't my last one. That was
Okay. The one before that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think only reason I ask that is because I feel like we are highlighting it, but I think I never want people to get us wrong and thinking that we just saying other people are like this. Like we definitely started off with our stuff because
Yeah.
I told
Somebody,
you.
without me, if I have done these things to you, because remember I told you my biggest thing in life is about being fair. So I'm never trying to manipulate anybody. I'm not
I
saying
know, but I don't
haven't.
think. Right, I was just about to
but,
say,
yeah.
yeah. And my thing in life is that I think that life is definitely fair, but I don't think that people are.
Yeah.
As
what
much
I'm
as you
saying.
try.
I'm trying to be fair. And so in me saying that, what I'm saying is I'm trying to be fair to you that I'm not manipulating you, that I'm not picking at your insecurities, that I'm not like diminishing your issues or I'm not trying to move the goalposts. Like if I said this and you did this, then I gotta accept that.
Right,
Because
true.
that is what I said and you did it. Cool.
Right.
Like I'm not trying to do something. I'm never trying to manipulate your emotions. And I'm never trying to use my emotions to manipulate you.
Right.
Like I'm conscious of not trying to do that. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but I make a conscious effort not to do it.
Dig.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said overly complimenting
Overly complimenting. Give me
Yeah.
that one because I don't think I've ran across that.
people that. So I think that goes along the lines of like love bombing or something.
Oh,
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So I haven't. I might have. I don't know.
You seen
But like I
Bad
said, I
Vegan?
don't. Nah.
That documentary? Oh, child. That's what he was doing to her.
Oh,
He'd be
yeah?
like, you're my blonde angel, right? Send me $10,000.
Send me
If I ask you
$10,000.
for, yeah,
Hold
he
up,
would
does
be
that
like,
work?
He'd be like, you're my light, you're my blind, like beautiful, like you're my little person, you're my little angel, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, if I ask you for 150K, like you gonna send it? And she'd be like, why?
Did it work?
But she did.
Oh.
Yeah, she sent him millions of dollars. AJ, millions.
I gotta
and
find-
I've never heard a compliment that good.
I got
I
it.
just haven't. I don't know any compliments that I would give.
He probably knew who
anybody.
to pick.
Sent 5,
He probably-
a stack. I wouldn't give anybody.
If it's an insecure woman, he probably knew who to pick. He probably
He
like,
definitely did. She was
yeah.
she was looking for love.
yeah,
Yeah, she was looking for love. And I feel like, not to get into the racial thing, but I also feel like that there's a way that white women see the world that I don't see. Black women
Yeah.
don't see the world the same way as white women
Right.
because of the privilege, right? Like we're not born into that. So there's a level of distrust that we have off books. Like, no. And it's not to say that we don't have
I'm
our
not going
stuff
for it.
because we
Yeah.
definitely go hard for our men. But just in a sense of like, when you know that you have it, or, what's 10K when you got, 6
Yeah.
mil sitting in the bank.
because your daddy's rich.
Because your daddy's rich and your mom's good looking.
Yeah,
Nah, but yeah, it's just a different world. But anyway, that's what he was giving. He was like overly complimenting her.
yeah.
Like, I'm always gonna protect you. You're my little angel. Like you're my little blonde light, ray of light. And I'm like,
I may overly compliment.
do you?
I don't know. Do I?
No,
Because I compliment you a lot.
I don't think you overly compliment though. And then your
alright.
compliments are always appropriate. Like you're not always like, good morning, beautiful. Like that's, to me,
Yeah,
just keep it, please. And I'm not trying to be for real, y'all. Like I'm not. And ladies, tell me how
Just
y'all
keep
feel.
it.
Now tell me how y'all feel. But beautiful is not the only thing that you can call a woman.
As
a matter of fact, it's
I told
dry.
you we
It's
gonna
late.
run out of adjectives. It ain't enough.
Yes, and I get it. But my thing is, because if you're doing anything in a rhythm, right? Anything in a rhythm, it's gonna get old.
Yeah,
That's why that's why those good morning texts all the time is not that's not always ideal, because it becomes a routine, and it's giving dry. Like it's giving like, let's put some salt bay, like let's put something on it to make it moisturize again, because
Salt-bae.
right now it's dry.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So with you, your compliments are always like something that's relevant to, the topic.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about this podcast, you'll say like, like you was dropping gems. Like, I thought that was really nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Things like that. But you're not always like, yeah, what's up? Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, sexy. Like, good morning, da da da. Like, you don't do that.
Like compliments for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
got
not
you.
always about my appearance.
Yeah.
Like, women, we do love to feel like we are beautiful and sexy and so forth and so on. But there are other things about us too. Like, like I like the way you, you drew that together, or what you did for your grandmother that other day. That was sweet. Like, I thought that was dope.
That was
like,
dope.
I
Yeah.
respect you for that. Like, that like the same thing that y'all would want. Y'all don't always like, ooh, like look at them muscles and da 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 da. Like that might geek y'all.
You got some men that,
Yeah. But just if that's just something that if I'm constantly able to
Yeah.
feed you and that's all that you eat, that's lame to
we're
me.
very simple.
I know. And I think that's why y'all be giving good morning beautiful and y'all thinking that we going like head over heels for it. No.
Yeah. Like,
My
you
vocabulary.
call me beautiful again.
Right.
For the 13,000th time.
Right.
I'm still beautiful.
I'm still beautiful to him today on the
Yeah.
28th. Nah.
Look, if I leave the house, well, nah, it ain't gonna mean too much to me.
What?
I'm gonna accept it. Like if I left the house one day, because it probably, if it's not like consistent, like you saying, like every day. But if I left the house one day, right, and she noticed that I left the house like with a suit on, like you getting it, and she like, I see you looking all handsome leaving this house. Where you going?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's something different.
Yeah.
So if you good morning beautiful, good morning beautiful, good morning beautiful, I got the new
And
hold on joint on.
But,
my
and then-
body's
But when you do
popping.
that, it's good morning, gorgeous.
on, man. No. Like sometimes I want you to tell me like, that's a new dress? My God. Like that's a compliment right there. Like look at that thing. Turn around, let me see that thing right there. Like that's a compliment. It don't have to always be good morning, beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
Ugh. And you don't have to be fake and be like, good morning, my smart
See.
queen.
Yeah,
my smart
like-
African
try to talk like
queen.
T.I.
Yeah, like don't.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta do that either. But
It's
anyway,
whack.
whatever works for y'all. I'm just telling
Yeah.
you for me, like just good morning, beautiful and me to death is just not ideal.
All right, I got one more.
What's up?
It came to me earlier, but I don't remember what I meant by it. Maybe you will.
Okay.
Like emotional blackmail.
Ooh. Oh, when you like holding somebody in a jar, like if you leave me, I'm a.
Nah, so like holding somebody to act a certain way, like reminding them that these type of things make me feel. Instead of growing, instead of dealing with your stuff, instead of dealing with your mess, you want them to act a certain way so that you don't feel like that no more. So like, how could I explain this? That's what I said. It's hard for me to put it in words. I should have typed it down.
It's okay.
When it came to me, but I was.
Can you give me a scenario?
I'm trying to give you a scenario right now. So like, all right. So my ex dealt with abandonment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she would do things like the first time she threatened to break up with me twice, and I said, "Look here, the next time you do it, that's it."
It's done.
But she was telling me like she was doing that because of her abandonment issues. She wanted to beat me out the door. If she felt like I was about to break up with her,
Right.
she was trying to break up
right,
with
had
me.
a head start. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so because if I was doing something to make her feel that way and not even knowing it, she'll use that abandonment thing against me. Like how she feels when she's feeling abandoned, she would use that against me to make me act a certain way if she wanted me to act a certain way or something. And so how am I gonna put this? So like if I say I feel like you're leaving me, you can say that for anything I'm doing.
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of get what you're saying.
Anything that you don't like because you see how I reacted to it before. Now you can use that for anything that you don't like to get a reaction out of me, get a specific reaction out of me or something, or to get me to change, whatever.
Yeah.
If
I
that
get
makes
it
any
now.
sense.
It makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know how to clarify it.
Yeah.
But I definitely see what you mean. Like you're just using that. You use that thing to apply to anything that you feel like is out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You experienced that?
No,
Men don't.
men
Most
aren't
men
that.
don't do
Yeah,
that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say most men.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna leave you, I'm just gonna leave you. Most of them never saw it coming, like, which is baffling to me because I always tell you what's wrong.
Yeah.
But mostly we do. Like that's another thing me and my homegirls talked about today is just like how a lot of us, I'm not saying that all women do, but a lot of us will tell you like what we want more of, what we don't like, and how we can, let's work it out.
Is it straightforward though? Like, are you telling me like
I do.
like you're saying it? Oh.
But that's only because I don't feel like you guys are, well equipped to, you like how you said well equipped?
You feel like we're dumb?
Right. To put to piece well equipped to piece the
We
things
are.
together.
So here's the thing. When you eat spaghetti,
Right.
how do you eat spaghetti?
Like all of, like, you take it and you wind it around a fork and then
Right. We don't have forks.
right.
So the way you individualize these spaghettis, you take the fork and you wrap the fork and it's individualized.
Exactly.
We don't have forks.
Right.
We don't have the metaphorical forks.
Right.
For y'all minds.
Right.
So it's like we gotta.
Yes,
it's a
and
mess.
then yes, I was gonna say that. So I could start with a list of 3. You're gonna remember 3.
That's it.
That's it. I've learned that though about
Yeah.
men. That's
So
something that you learn.
yeah.
Y'all
So-
are gonna remember number 3. I'm gonna say, I like for you to wash dishes. I like for you to love on me. I like for you to bring me some candy after work. You're gonna bring me the candy after work. And that's gonna be the only one thing that you remember.
No, we probably gonna remember the first one because we gonna think like the first one is the most important.
True. Maybe. But something's gonna get lost. You're not gonna remember
Something's-
all 3.
yeah, not even.
And
Not
that's the
even.
reason why too, ladies, when y'all
And-
send these 4-page letters for text messages and they give you that one liner. That's what happens.
So here's the
they
thing.
don't remember.
Y'all do the same thing. So y'all give us the 4-page letter, and we're gonna hit on the last thing. We give y'all the 4-page letter. Y'all hit on the one thing that
That
was
you're not even
probably
talking
wrong or
about.
something. Yeah. Like, what the hell? That's what you got from that?
That's my friend does that to me all the time. I swear. I will tell her something and she'll be like, I'm sure that's not what you were placing emphasis on, but that's
And
what
she
I got.
says that though, and I'm
she'll be like,
but that's what I
I
got.
don't know why that's
I
what I,
love
pulled
that
out of what you
honesty, though.
said. Yeah. She's like she's very honest. Like, I don't know why that's what I pulled out of what you said, but go ahead.
But that's what I got. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
you
yeah,
that to you?
huh?
When you send me something, I put emphasis on.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised if I did, because I know me.
no.
Sometimes I
You
get
did it last
distracted.
episode though when I was saying something.
I probably did. I gotta work
Hey.
on that. But yeah,
It's okay though because I understand. Like that's how women do.
sometimes.
But
But
we-
I think it's
Yeah.
we talking two different languages.
It's
Like you
back.
said,
It's
waffles
funny
and
because
spaghetti.
we picked the last thing and y'all picked the most insignificant thing. Like I'm gonna find I'm gonna find the wrong thing
That's
in
why
here.
you be like, I love you. Da 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 da. You be like, but what did you say about my mother though? You're like,
So you saying my neck fat?
Right,
Like,
my neck fat.
what?
You don't like my ass?
I'm
Yeah, we do
like
this stuff
out
like
of
that.
all of the stuff I said, that's what you pulled out.
Yep.
But like I'm saying, we don't have the metaphorical fork to sort out the stuff in your
stuff that's
mind.
in my
Like
mind.
you have to
Yeah, I didn't look at it like that. That's
Yeah.
great. I like that. I like that metaphor. Get you a fork.
get
though,
you a
okay?
fork. Yeah.
And I could be the fork.
Because you know how to, like
Yeah,
you
because
said,
I was
you,
gonna say, my best friends, like I think
Yeah.
that's just bringing it all around. Look at us, just
Yeah.
being all full circle.
but see,
Your
that's
best friend
why,
can help you.
boom, that's why my girl or your man can't be like insecure about our relationship. That's
Right.
why it would benefit you to be cool with her, or it would benefit him.
Because I'm not
to
gonna
be
agree
cool
with you
me.
just because you. Yeah, I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah.
Like, girl, no, that's dumb. What are you saying? No.
That's what,
And the same thing, like I would want my man to have that sort of level of accountability. Like I don't need y'all to be best friends, but at the same time, like if you know me, then you could go to him like, yo, like she wilding. Ain't she like, is it just me or is she wilding? You like, no, she be doing that dumb shit. Let me tell you, like why she be doing that dumb
exactly.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. Was there anything else that you had in regards to this topic, or
No, I don't
can
think
we
so.
pick our next one? All right, let's hit that topic jar. That Tibbity topic jar.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's all
All
I got.
right. Fresh topics. Oh, I ain't giving the drum roll.
We don't do drum rolls no more. You gotta do the Spodioti Dopalicious sound. Slow it down a little bit while we do this. Golly, you tell her slow it down and she minus. Consistency doesn't matter more to women than men.
Ooh.
I don't even think we gotta do a podcast on this one. We know this one.
We know it, but it'd be interesting.
Oh no, it is. Yep, you're right. I just
Yeah, I
thought
was
of
gonna
something.
say, yeah, I think that'd be an interesting conversation. Okay, cool. So, what did you hear me say in this episode? And before you ask, now Spodioti
Yes.
Dopalicious,
You might
yeah,
as well- yeah.
that's on my mind. So,
It's on mine too.
Okay.
We was just humming it. So, what did I hear you say today?
yeah,
I don't think this was like really one where there were more odds between us for me to really have to decipher anything you said.
okay,
If that makes any sense.
it does. But what I heard you say was that you definitely experienced a lot of emotional manipulation in your relationship, and I think that more than anything, what we should, if we wrap this up in our next episode, is we should come up with ways of targeting that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in the relationship, right? Because some of you guys have been with your person for years now.
Yeah.
And we are promoting staying together and working it out. So I want us, and my challenge for us for next week is to just come up with different ways and different points of communication where we can call it out.
Yeah.
For that person,
I think that's
because I think
big.
both of us, I don't think it's a gender thing. I think emotional manipulation can happen from either side of the spectrum, but I do think that you have to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just be able to call it out. The
I think
best
it's-
wing.
I think it's big because I don't even think this is something I've never considered. Like just the term emotional manipulation, I've never considered it. So a few of these things I have recognized instantly in the relationship.
Yeah.
But I hate manipulation, period, right? So when I see it, it bothers me. But God just had to deal with me. God dealt with me. He said it's not manipulation if you know that that's what they're doing.
Right.
And I look at it differently now. But just doing this episode and the little bit of research and everything and talking about it, like when I look back, I'm like, dang, I suffered a lot of emotional manipulation, whether it was intentional or accidental or unintentional, whatever is another thing. But regardless, like I experienced a lot of emotional manipulation, and now it's something that I'm going to be looking out for in the early stages of a relationship. Yeah.
And
That's
any of
tough.
our exes, like, I love a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all have experienced some emotional manipulation from us, then, like, make it loud. Like, say something, send it to our email. We will definitely be honest
Put it in the comments.
about it.
I
Yeah,
don't
put it
care.
in the comments,
Yeah.
whatever. Because, again, this is not an attack on anybody. This is just us seeing each other for who we are. Like, you got to be able to see yourself, and you have to be able to see other people in order to call a thing a thing.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever want. So if you've experienced emotional manipulation from me, even if you are the same sex, then, put it out there, whatever the case. Like, we just got to be, the only way that we can, grow is for there to be some discomfort, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
along the journey. Like, that's the only way we're going to be able to break out of that
Right.
glass, that glass ceiling. So,
So you asked me earlier, have I experienced any from you? Have you experienced any from me?
no, not that I can pinpoint.
Good job, Dan. Good.
Yeah, I don't think that you have. I think one thing that can be misconstrued, though, is when you take your time for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it because I'm not your woman. But I can see how it could be something that people, like, well, why he go
Yeah.
away? But I honestly don't have a problem with it. But I'm very big about individualism anyway, too. So when you go and you take your space, or even when you, like when I know that you don't necessarily agree with something that I say, you'll probably like give it a thumbs up and then like you'll ride out, like you won't even say nothing else back. I get that though.
Yeah.
But I can see how somebody who is so influenced or who would like to know your opinion because they love you so much would be like, where did AJ go?
Yeah.
So that's why I guess I haven't really experienced that from you.
So it was a one time. Well, I ain't gonna say it was a one time thing, but it only happened one time where I was just we were arguing too much, and it might have been only like two real big arguments, but that's too much for me because I already told you I'm not going.
Keep going.
I'm like Remy Ma. I'm make my point,
and then that's it.
and
I'm
then
out.
that's it. It's no point to keep going back and forth. Like if you don't get it or if you don't want to adjust, if we can't come to a resolve, like that's not, because I don't make my point off of my feelings.
Right.
I make my point off of what happened.
Uh-huh.
How do we respond to that, and how we can move forward from this. I'm not the type of person that likes to stay on this one topic. We going back and forth. We ain't getting no resolve. Like, nah, right. I'm not about to do that.
Right.
I'm not about to keep emphasizing on it. Don't nag me about it. None of that. Like, if we can't come to a resolve from this, and it's that big of a deal, I'm gonna be like, look here, well, I need my space.
Right.
Because I don't want to keep going back and forth. And so right now, if I don't have an answer for you and you don't have an answer, neither one of us are trying to give, that's what the space is for.
Right.
So what I had did in the beginning of the year, I fast the first 40 days, the beginning of every year, and I had, we was probably like on day 27 or something, 26, and I was like, look, I need my space. I holler at you when I'm done this.
Right.
And so
she was like,
it was probably a good 2 weeks maybe, where you ain't
hear nothing from you.
I'm gonna get back to you when I'm done my fast. You know, I'm gonna hear from God, and I'm gonna be on. You know, I'll be on. My mind will be more clear.
Yeah.
Like I'll be in a better space to respond to you, or I might have another idea of how we can move forward.
Is it okay to fast from your person if you're from your significant other?
Well, fast by definition just means to not eat.
Right, but what if somebody tried to roll that into it? Like, I need to take my space. Like, is it okay?
I believe it is. It's just like a separation. Just like people who get married and might need to separate and come back.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes people don't realize how much you really mean to them until you're not able to be accessed.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think I'm even just in this past relationship, I think that I'm learning I require communication more than I thought that I did.
Well, if we communicate and say that we're taking a space.
Yeah. That's different. Yeah. That's different. But I don't know. That's just an interesting question.
Yeah, you don't take a break without saying something. Like,
nah, hell no.
That's different. Yeah.
Hell no. Okay.
But yeah, so consistency doesn't matter more to the women than the men.
So that's what our next topic is. Thank you for joining us on Deep Skydiving. You can email us at
deepskydivingpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And
Deep Skydiving Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Deep Skydiving Podcast on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the other podcast networks where you watch your favorite podcasts.
And the YouTube. Yes.
The YouTube.
Thank you for joining us again. We love y'all and make it work.
Make it work. Got it. Peace.